Could you please put your hands together and welcome on stage the chairman of the Warriors Football Club and also the host of the show, Paul Burley. Right, good evening everybody. Good evening under nines. Good evening under 15 yellows. Did we invite the under 15 yellows? 15 reds? Under 11s. I thought that would happen. Well, welcome everybody, and befitting our 5th anniversary, we've also got a new next year. So I'd like to welcome Dale, some of the parents and some of the players are here from the new under 13s team that we'll have next year. So could we give a good Hucknall Warriors welcome to the under 13s, please? We'll hear more about them later. So good evening and welcome everybody. It is our 5th anniversary. We tried to make this the biggest and the best. I think we've got the biggest turnout we've had for the last 5 years. So thanks very much for coming along this evening. As normal, there's a few house rules. We've got no outside attractions tonight. A few reasons for that. One of them is a lot of concreting being done outside. So first house rule is this: nobody's allowed outside. If you could, I realise we've got some youngsters here, but if you could just recognise that there's certainly in that area there's a lot of expensive equipment. Nobody running through that direction, otherwise it'll be a very short show for us. And also I think there's a couple of other functions on, so if we could prevent anybody from congregating in the corridors and keep everybody in this room, if you would, that'd be great. The kitchen in that corner there is open at around about 8 o'clock until 9:30. It'll be closed at 9:30, so you've got menus on your table. If you want to get some food later, you've got a good hour and a half to do that. And we've got some fantastic raffle prizes here, so there'll be a raffle later on, and there'll be various people coming around and selling you raffle tickets, raise money for the club, and win one of these great prizes. Now, as you know, we normally film this event each year, and tonight is no exception, and we put it on the website. But one of the things we've noticed is that we never ever have any footage of this crowd, and tonight, you know, a fantastic turnout. So here's your opportunity to be famous for the night. Whenever these lights come on, we'd like some rapturous applause. So we'll just try that now if we can. So some rapturous applause for the cameras, please. Now the definition of rapturous applause is wild screaming. I think it's standing on the tables. Maybe we won't try that tonight. We'll just try that once more, just for the cameras. Thank you very much. Okay, so whenever you see those, that's what to do. So, here we are, 5 years on from the formation of the club. The club was formed in May 2006, so 5 years old this month. Started with one team, which is now known as the under 15 Reds. Very quickly joined by the under 15 Yellows. We then went on to run a soccer school on Titchfield Park. Got a lot of youngsters involved, and a lot of those are here tonight, represented as the under 11s, and the under 9s joined us 2 years ago. As I say, we're very pleased to be welcoming the under 13s for next season. Warriors never really set out to be a large club. We get a lot of people coming asking us to join each year, but we're very selective, and we think that trying to keep it to a small number of teams is best for lots of reasons. Warriors has a very positive reputation within youth football, and it's held in very high esteem within the Nottinghamshire FA for both the way we run the club and for the excellent disciplinary record that we've got. Although we took a bit of a hammering this year with a couple of red cards. A few of you know what we're talking about there. Yellows, yeah. Well, yellows, and I think we had a few red cards actually. We also used as an example within the Notts FA for a charter standard, and in fact we were the first club to appear on the Nottinghamshire FA charter standard website earlier this year, so that's great. But above all, we're here to give the opportunity for the youths of Hucknall and surrounding areas, to give them the opportunity, whatever level they're at, to play football in a safe and secure manner. We're also here, hopefully, to try and develop their social skills, motivation, discipline, and their teamwork. Over the past 5 years, Hucknall Warriors has managed and organised over 500 games, and our players have scored nearly 1,500 goals. And I think each goal... Yep, okay, we'll have a round of applause for that. I think if you think about it, every one of those goals has given each player and each parent an enormous amount of pride and some great memories. Some of those memories last maybe 2 hours until they get back on the Xbox or the PS3. But some of them, yeah. Sorry? What? We're getting into a PS3 conversation here, huh? Black Ops. Some of those memories, especially if it's a big goal in a big tournament, some of those memories can last for years. And let's not forget goalkeepers and defenders, who, as we know, are worth 20 goals a season. Off the field, Warriors has been involved in arranging lots and lots of activities, including bowling, laser quest, karting, skating, fun days, paintballing, etc., etc. The club has also been responsible for raising lots of money for charity. Some of the charities that we've raised money for are the neonatal unit, the NSPCC, cancer research, Help for Heroes. We've raised nearly £5,000 over 5 years for those causes. We also raised over £1,000 for a young boy that some of you may know called Edward Bright. Very young boy, lost 4 of his limbs through septicemia. Smashing character, and we obviously made his life a little bit better by raising some money for him. We also, closer to our hearts, in this room last year, we raised over £6,000 for Emma Hurry, who was the sister of one of our under-9 players, David Hurry. Emma was tragically diagnosed with cancer at the tender age of 26. Unfortunately, that was a battle that she subsequently lost just a few weeks after we gave her a cracking night here, and anybody that was here would have seen that. So, Warriors is not just about football on a Saturday and Sunday. To a lot of people in this room, it's a way of life, and you'll see later from some of the stuff that we've got on the projector, you'll see that a lot of the parents express that there's a common theme running through the football club, which is it's a family football club. But tonight is about recognising and celebrating the successes of the players on the field, and we have an exceptional. This is the second part of Guinness, I think, that's clicking in there. We have an exceptional bunch of players, and we have an exceptional bunch of parents and supporters. At Warriors HQ and some of the stuff that I do with Notts FA, we hear some real horror stories about what goes off in youth football. You really wouldn't believe some of the stories that we hear. But within Warriors, within the 500 games that we've organised, we've not had one single serious incident in 5 years and 500 games. And that, I think, is something for both players, parents and supporters to be very proud of. And I think you all are an example to the rest of youth football. So you might want to give yourselves a round of applause for that. Hopefully Warriors can continue to attract the right sort of teams to enable us to carry on the legacy of providing local youth with the opportunity to grow and develop, not just as footballers but as human beings, to give them something to be proud about at the weekend, and also something for the parents, the supporters, grandparents, friends also to be proud about. So long may that live. And let's face it, life would be a little bit duller without football on a Saturday and Sunday afternoon, wouldn't it? Or morning. So thank you very much for everybody that's here, all the parents, for getting your players there on time, getting them to matches, getting them to training, paying your subs on time, mostly. For your continuous touchline encouragement and enthusiasm, which of course is always positive and of course always right. And so back to tonight. We've got a packed night for you. We try to do things a little differently at Warriors. We try to move away from just a procession of trophies, and we try to give you an entertaining evening, which I think hopefully, if the technology stands up, we will give you tonight. We'll start with an overview from each manager, be about 15 minutes from each manager. They'll go through how the season's gone and obviously each player, and we'll invite each player up. There's a lot of people in here tonight, there's 200 plus people in here tonight, and it's not always easy talking to 200 people. So what I would ask is if you could please give them your attention. I know when your manager is not on, it's not as interesting, and I realise you've come out for a good social night. We certainly don't want to spoil that. There's a conservatory area at the back where there's possibly less noise, but we would just ask you to try and give the managers your attention, try and keep your chattering to a minimum. But if you don't, then we have a cunning plan. And if we find any table that is particularly noisy, Matthew, we're going to focus on them and we're going to ridicule them. Especially these two tables at the back here. So please try and give them your attention. We'll have a 10-minute break around about 9:30, 20 past 9, something like that, and then we'll have the second half of the show. In the second half of the show, we've got a very, very special guest here with us tonight, which I'll introduce later. Special guest to introduce and present the special trophies. Also, later on, we have a very special movie premiere tonight. It's much better than that. It really is good. Whatever you do, I strongly suggest you empty your bladders before 9:15 and you're down here by 9:30, because I think what we've got to show you, hopefully you will enjoy. So that's coming along about 9:30. Also tonight, we've got some spot quizzes with some prizes. So I think we're going to do one of those now, actually, aren't we, Matthew? I think we're going to put the lights on, and we're going to do a spot quiz now. Okay, so who knows the answer to that question? We've got how many hands up now? Right, okay, we'll go over here. What's your name?
Regan.
Where you play for the under 15s?
No.
Who do you play for?
Under 9s.
You sure? Okay. Under 9s. Okay. So you know the answer to this question? Who is it?
Joe Gillen.
Joe Gillen, you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Joe Gillen. Now we've got a really good prize for you. Okay. Would you like a bottle of red wine?
Yeah.
Or white wine?
Red wine.
You sure? Or would you like a box of Maltesers?
No.
Are you sure?
No, I'm sure. Red wine.
Right. Do we have a parent to pick up this red wine before the show comes to an end? Well done. Yeah, the answer is Joe Gillen. How many did he score? 4 goals. Fantastic. Okay. Okay, right, so I hope they enjoyed the evening. There's more work gone into this evening than we've put into any other night really. It's we started off by throwing a few photographs in about 3 years ago. That went down well, so we threw a few more in. And we threw a bit of video in last year, and it seems to have snowballed into a real monster with big screens and expensive cameras. Not that you lot have paid for them, by the way, but expensive cameras, and it's become a real monster. And we hope you enjoy the effort that we put into this evening. I just want to say a quick word before we start off. I just want to mention Matthew sat behind the desk there, who's put in a considerable amount of work with myself this year. There's a lot of videos that you're about to see. Some of them last about 5 seconds, some of them last 5 minutes, but behind each one of them is hours and hours and hours of work. And I'd like to recognise Matthew. Who, by the way, hates football with a vengeance, so makes it even more special. Okay, that's it for me. All I'd like to say is that over the last 5 years, it's been a real privilege for me to be chairman of such an exciting and exemplary football club. Please enjoy this evening, and I'll see you later. Thank you.